Am I the a-hole for not allowing my homeless brother to stay in my 2-bedroom apartment? Okay, y'all, let's get into this. So this person says, so I go to college in small town South Dakota and live in a 2-bedroom apartment where my son and his mom used to stay before we separated. I've been here for about 5 years now and rent is dirt cheap. My older brother lives in my hometown of Dallas with his girlfriend and her son. They're currently homeless and live in their car. As much as I'd love to help them out because they're really sweet and the only people in my life currently that genuinely care about me and hear me out when I need to vent, they're homeless for a reason. My brother is 28 years old, didn't graduate high school, and went from, quote, training for the NBA to, quote, training for arena football to now, quote, training to be a pro boxer. He met his girlfriend on Plenty of Fish, who just got out of prison 2 years ago and is the type to work 3 weeks at a fast food job, then quit because, quote, the managers kept talking to her crazy and had her effed up. Y'all, child, look, let me go on. They both think that they're above retail jobs and currently sustain themselves by his girlfriend donating plasma and door dashing while he trains with his coach and looks for matches to fight in. They've been couch hopping for 2 years now with cousins, aunts, grandmas, and friends and get kicked out each time. No, go ahead and open it up. You're fine. Okay, I'm back. They've been couch hopping for 2 years now with cousins, aunts, grandmas, and friends and get kicked out each time because no one wants to take care of 2 grown adults that will not work. His girlfriend's 4-year-old son currently sleeps at her aunt's house, who also kicked them out but otherwise spends the whole day with them. Since getting a car with their stimulus checks, they think that the solution to all of their problems is just driving up here and moving in with me, which is a firm no. Look, don't let those homeless people come up there and live with you. If they can figure out how to get the gas to move up to South Dakota from Dallas, then they can figure out how to get the money to stay in their own place. Let me finish. They'll constantly make subtle comments like, quote, we need to buy some coats since we're not used to the cold. Ha ha. We better learn to share one bed because I sleep wild AF. Haha. Even worse is my family is egging it on as well, like, quote unquote, stop being selfish, when the reality is they've already kicked them out for the same reasons. Listen, let me tell you something. Don't let your family enslave you into taking care of grown people that are able-bodied and can take care of themselves. Don't do, I'm telling you, don't do it. So they're going to get up here, apply to Walmart or Taco Bell or something, not get a response, then be like, quote, damn, no one's hiring up here, end quote, as they lay around and smoke weed and eat all my food. You better leave them homeless people where they're at. Leave them in Dallas. It's warmer there. And, if they got to sleep in the street, it's more tolerable. It doesn't snow as often as it does in South Dakota. Leave them homeless people down there. Okay. The reason why I feel like an a-hole is because I can technically afford to take care of them. I simply just don't want to. Because I flat out don't want to fund 2 grown adults that I know I'll eventually get sick of. And even though the company would be nice temporarily, and then B, this is simply my place that I worked and paid for. I like my freedom and privacy. I don't want to have to wait for the bathroom, clean up after everyone, or give them a heads up before I bring a guest over. I don't think I'm the a-hole, but at the same time, I'm actively watching 3 good-hearted people shower at gas stations, spend the night in laundromats, and share one McDonald's meal for the day while rejecting the offer to put a roof over their heads, even though I'm able to. Am I the a-hole? Sir, no, you're not. No, you're not. You are not the a-hole. I'm telling you, you better leave those homeless people down there. Because let me tell you something. If the reality of their situation is not spurring either the dude or the chick to go out there and work 2 and 3 jobs to put a roof over their heads. If the reality of having a child with them is not spurring them to do that, sir, this reality is not going to hit them in South Dakota if it's not hitting them in Dallas. They're going to come there. They're going to stress you out. They're going to ruin your reputation because, you're in small town South Dakota where everybody knows everybody and they're friends, and you probably have a good reputation up there. Leave those people down in Dallas. I'm telling you, leave them down there. So let me go through. One person said, not the a-hole. You would actually be doing your brother a huge disservice to allow him to move in. The only way people change is because their situation sucks and they don't want to live that way anymore. Let them hit rock bottom and learn what it means to work. And then another one says, they don't sound like good-hearted people. They sound like entitled moochers that need a reality check. Don't enable them. I completely agree with this statement. Let's see. I met good-hearted people and they aren't. Good-hearted people would take care of their 4-year-old child and provide for them regardless of how crummy their job is. Absolutely. Absolutely. And another person says, I know good-hearted people also take the time to see how they affect the people around them. And see, that's another thing. I think Op's brother is probably fun to hang around with and a good friend of sorts. And Op remembers when they were little and how big brother was his protector or his best bud. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But everybody's grown now and everybody needs to pull their weight, in my humble opinion. So let me continue to read. I have a brother like that, and he's also, quote unquote, good-hearted. But he struggles with getting and keeping a job and caused our mother endless amounts of stress and money. He literally has a degree as a chef, but won't apply for any position because he's vegan and won't cook meat. Are you kidding me? There are vegan-only restaurants out here. The brother is just lazy as far as that goes. So, and exactly, this post goes on to say there are vegan restaurants in our city, and even if there weren't, it's not okay for him to be true to his quote-unquote morals and live a life where his rent, food, and bills are covered because his mom and sisters, myself included, pay them for him. My mom finally put her foot down. She found him a job and gave him a place to stay, but only if she has access to his accounts. He signs his paychecks over to her, then she pays the rent, the car note, and for his cell phone. With what's left, she'll give him a small allowance because that's all that's left. Exactly. Leave these homeless, lazy people where they're at. When they get tired of their situation, they'll figure out what they need to do to make their lives better. We live in the United States. It's called the land of opportunities for a reason. Nobody who's able-bodied, regardless of whether they have a felony background or not. Look, if you can lift heavy things, you have a job. If you can clean, if you can do tough jobs, you'll have a job. I don't care what your background is. So leave these homeless people out in the streets and let them figure it out. While you're up here scrimping and struggling and figuring out how to budget and make ends meet month to month, don't let them benefit off of that. Privacy is expensive for a reason. So if they're okay living out in the open for everybody to, pass by in their vehicles and buses and walk past them and see how they're living, then that's their business. Don't make it your own. So no, you're not the a-hole. Leave those homeless people where they are and continue to enjoy your life in peace and go to sleep like a baby at night. I'm telling you, don't bring those homeless people up to South Dakota with you. And as far as the rest of my viewers, listen, leave those homeless people out in the streets. If it's one thing if a person falls on hard times, I understand that there's a lot going on with COVID or post-COVID, the effects of that. But you can tell when someone genuinely just needs a hand. Those are going to be the people you hardly see. They're stumping the pavement morning, noon, and night looking for a job or 2 or 3. And within a short time, they're taking care of themselves under your roof. They're contributing in one way, shape, form, or fashion or another. And their goal is to get off from under you. That doesn't sound like the case with these people. They're perfectly okay laying up and lounging around on people and using their resources. It is a form of family slavery. Stop letting your family creating you to be a slave where you're using your resources to take care of them. And in the meantime, they're not giving you anything back in return. Don't become a family slave. Don't let your family conscript you into taking care of them when they're able to do it for themselves. Keep your money and your resources and your privacy and your time to yourself. If they want it that bad, then they can figure out how to get it on their own. So that's all I have to say for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I have any new content. Take care until next time.